So, YouTube, this is Eclipse here. It is 7/11/2017. 7/11 are prime numbers to today's Prime Day on Amazon. But that's not related right now. But today is actually the day Game Theory has made a new video of Pokemon, the terrifying truth of fire Pokemon, actually. I love talking about Pokemon related stuff. I'm actually, just before this recording, I've actually uploaded this right here. Hit that I, the letter I, either there or there somewhere on the screen. I've just made, I'm playing the ROM hack of Pokemon Adventures, Pokemon Mega Adventures. I'm already on part 4. I'm going to post the 5th one later today. And I'm like, man, these don't give views, so please, these reactions do. I watch Doctor Who, I watch more stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm Eclipse. I do reactions. I do more than reactions. I do a lot of stuff. I talk about Pokemon. I talk about, you know, fan games, nerdy stuff. Stuff like this. Just a theory stuff. A game theory. Thanks for watching. I always wanted to say that, and I'm not him. But let's get this on with it already. Let's get on with it. I want to know about this. The thumbnail is Pikachu being scared of a Charizard. That's pretty funny. Let's watch the terrifying truth. See this guy's theory. I like Matt. This guy's okay. 3, 2, 1.
Today we're talking about fire moves, which means this episode is gonna be lit.
Okay. I like his intro too. I'm sorry I'm rocking out too much, but this is just a really good intro. I need a cool intro like this. There we go. I like film theory too.
Use that phrase, probably gonna be the last. Hello Internet, welcome to Game Theory, where today we're looking at Pokemon, because, let's be honest, Pokemon is an infinite well of theory fodder. Balls capable of carrying gods, a world that lets 10-year-olds wander around aimlessly without
wow, look at the...
charged for child
that's the world of Pokemon. They have all... Huh. I should draw that actually right now. I'm actually gonna... I got a whiteboard here. Let's draw that...
Not focusing on the bizarre lore of this world, but rather the
I'm gonna try... I have kind of photographic memory.
the science of fire-type Pokemon. Why? Well, 3 reasons. 1, because fictional video game science is awesome. 2, because YouTube's Grant Thompson, aka
took a lot of
Random, was
lands.
to do some science experiments, and he decided to play around with fire in ways that were very
That's the
reminiscent
fire
of Pokemon moves,
energy.
Also very reminiscent of things they tell you not to try at home. Stick around to see if we still have all our fingers intact. And 3, I just finished working on a deadlock debate against Austin. You know, Austin from The Science, where he defends Charmander as the best Gen 1 starter Pokemon. If I don't say so myself, I utterly crush him in it. And so now I want to rub it in.
I still pick Squirtle. I will debate that.
Defending.
Squirtle's good on the first few gyms actually.
That episode will be coming out in a few weeks, so if you
And he's a good defense. I think it's Squirtle. Squirtle has to do that.
and you want your voice to be heard, well then take this opportunity to headbutt that subscribe button to get notified of when it comes out to make sure that your favorite starter wins. In the next 3 seconds, can you quick attack that subscribe button and let me know in the comments
I'll do it after this video.
whether you're a member of the Bulba Buddies, the Squirtle Squad, or the Charmander Champions? 1, 2,
Squirtle Squad.
fantastic.
That's
Now
such a good name.
Head-sized hole where your subscribe button used to be. Let's begin with Charmander. One of the most beloved starters and perhaps the most iconic evolutionary sequence in the entire Pokemon series. Well, except for Charmeleon, he's like the awkward puberty portion of that evolutionary tree.
All
One feature that
middle
makes
Pokemon
Charmander
faces are like
iconic is his flame tail. Well, in retrospect, it's the only thing that made him iconic, considering Charmander's design would literally just be like a baby dinosaur lizard without it. Regardless, question 1 of the day, what keeps that flame tail burning? It's actually an important mystery for the Pokeverse, since the tail
It's
is
love.
linked to the survival of the Charmander. According to Brock in episode 11 of the anime, Charmander the stray Pokemon,
now it's waiting out there in the rain for you.
It's
Its
hard.
goes out, it'll die.
this is also supported in the games, as the Charmander Pokedex entry in Fire Red reads, Charmander, from the time it is born, a flame burns at the tip of its tail. Its life would end.
And that's the flame inside.
So that when
The
someone
power
else
that's
works
inside. That's what it is,
with
Pokemon.
its work, however, if we look at other Pokedex entries, this appears to just be flat out wrong.
And a Pokeball.
Silver,
There you go.
Gold,
See?
Platinum, Diamond, Pearl, Stadium 2, and others, these flame tails are just an indicator of Charmander's life force. If he's feeling strong, it burns brightly, and if he's sick or dying, it weakens and eventually goes out when he dies. What Brock and that first Pokedex entry did was mistake cause and effect in what's known as the questionable cause logical fallacy, or post hoc ergo prompter hoc, Latin for after this, therefore because of this. They assume that because one thing happened,
That's a lot of words, man.
I.e. the Flametail goes out and then immediately afterward they saw the Pokemon die, that the two were causal, when in actuality they were just correlated. It'd be like Ash in the anime changing his hat, then losing a bunch of Pokemon matches and him blaming his changed hat for all those losses, when in actuality the real reason might be, oh, I don't know, ignoring all type advantages and using Pikachu for literally every battle. He thought that there was a cause and effect relationship, when in actuality, he just sucks as a trainer, period. Does things in the anime that you can't do in the game.
Charizard, use flamethrower to burn the battlefield!
Charizard is striking the field with
No, you put a flame terrain.
Deus Ex Machina. It was super effective.
Electric terrain, making a flame terrain.
This is an important distinction to make because it helps contextualize all these shots of Charmander trying to shield itself from the rain.
Aw, it's so
Water
cute.
would weaken
It's
him,
so
but
innocent in the rain.
itself isn't going to put the flame out. We see this in the episode Charizard's Burning Ambitions, where he is literally submerged underwater.
All you gotta do is make a girl Charizard, just put a boat. There, you're a girl. There you go. You're a girl. That's how you identify
Is
it.
what's known as a Class B fire, one created by a flammable liquid or gas, as those are the ones where water is less effective at putting them out. So we know that the flames that these creatures are creating are some sort of chemical or gas that's being lit. But to figure out how exactly, we need to look at what makes a fire. Fire is basically just a super fast version of a type of reaction that exists everywhere in our world. What's called a reduction-oxidation reaction, or redox reaction for short. Oxidation is the loss
Oxygen,
of
yeah.
electrons, and reduction
Without oxygen,
is the gaining
no
of
fire.
electrons. Basically,
Oxy,
it's just
yeah.
another way of saying an electron swap. Like an atomically small flea market, rust on a car is one of the classic examples of a really slow redox reaction.
I'm learning a lot today. Sheesh.
Process
All the
that
science
puts
stuff.
Energy into molecules. And if you add enough heat, eventually you can get a fire. Now, you may have heard of something called the fire triangle. Basically,
Right, there you go.
it's
Oxygen,
utilizing
heat,
the three
fuel.
necessary components
Fire!
of fire, heat, oxygen, and fuel. And sure, that was all well and good, and it made a lot of sense, but then the fire triangle got jealous of the food pyramid because the food pyramid got a snazzy new millennial upgrade a few years ago, and so the fire triangle decided to change too. What? Fire triangle?
It's evolving.
Fire
That's
triangle
really.
evolved into fire tetrahedron. No joke, the fire triangle is now known as the fire tetrahedron. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how people keep their jobs. So anyway, they added a new ingredient, creating a shape
It's
that looks
the-
like
it's
this,
the
which
Legend of
honestly
Zelda
reminds me of
fire.
Triforce.
Triforce, yeah, see, there it is.
Triforce? That's what it should be called. How much cooler would that be getting taught in Boy Scout camps? Or your brownies troop? That is what it shall be called from here on out. The Fire Triforce. Nintendo, if you're listening to me, next Zelda game, include a Fire Triforce. It would be so cool and educational. Anyway, the Fire Triforce consists of heat, oxygen, fuel, and that new fourth element, a chemical chain reaction. Essentially, all four elements must be present for fire to occur, and altering their levels have different impacts on the fire itself. The more heat you put into the Triforce, the faster these molecules bind together. The more oxygen you put into the shape, the hotter it burns. The more fuel you put in, the more total energy it releases. But it's that
Oxygen,
new part of the Triforce.
chains,
Chain reactions, where I think
That's a
Pokemon are
chain,
doing
a literal
fire.
chain.
We already covered why it's likely these fire moves are
And that's
evil-based, but
Charizard's
for further
flame.
evidence, just watch these clips from the anime.
Look, that's Team
Blah.
Rocket's balloon. They must be up to no good. Arcanine, flamethrower.
It's Growlithe.
Officer Jenny, you mean Growlithe? Because that's not...
They always get them confused. Like a Pidgeot, a Pidgey, a Pidgeotto.
You gotta take
You're just one evolution away. Just
Anyway, I
why?
meant these clips, and you better appreciate them because I poured through countless Pokemon AMVs to find them. Don't want to listen to another J-pop song for years.
Like the Pokerap, Graveler, Geodude. You're just one evolution short. Could have just done your research a little bit. No. Yeah, mess up the Pokérap a little, just a little bit. Just one.
They'll
Just one.
either tilt their mouths up as
That's
if
just
they're
nitpicking,
collecting
though.
and preparing to spit some sort of liquid, or as you can really see in that Arcanine clip, they'll charge a small fireball in their mouths before launching it forward into a flamethrower, fire blast, or incinerate attack.
That's a cool insignia for the Fire Blast. I like it.
Best scientific
This thing.
for the idea of animal
I'm just drawing a lot today. I just want to draw
comes
that
from
thing.
one of Earth's smallest
It's a cool symbol. I'm actually gonna keep this.
Specifically, the Bombardier Bee.
that right
This thing is like the ultimate one of the animal kingdom in that he uses the terrifying power of chemistry to fight its turf wars. Watch out, Misty! He is the one who scuttles. When it's threatened, the Bombardier Beetle shoots out boiling hot liquids at its foes. How does it do this? Well, it's got 3 organs that work together as its abdomen. 2 of them are reservoirs for chemicals, hydroquinones and hydrogen peroxide. When it's threatened, this little bug tosses those 2 chemicals together into its 3rd organ, basically a large reaction chamber where the hydroquinones and hydrogen
Well, you do not want to get sprayed with that. That
reaction,
sounds
like we mentioned in creating fire earlier, and
deadly.
boom! They heat up to boiling temperatures and explode, shooting out a jet of deadly liquid at its enemies. I mean, we've already discussed the chemistry of redox reactions, so in higher amounts, this could absolutely result in viable fire breath. Except this comes out of their butts, making it the insect equivalent of going to the bathroom post-Chipotle. Ugh. Anyway, the point is what the beetle
It's a
does
fire
is
poop.
exactly what it appears fire Pokemon are doing. They store in their bodies 2 separate chemicals that, when mixed, combust into a fire. Hence why we see them tilting their heads up to keep the liquid chemicals in there and reacting. Then, when the little fireball is prepared, they launch a chemical stream forward.
There you go.
Fuels
Blah!
the fire, allowing that starter flame to follow its fuel
Look at that
down
fire.
until it reaches its foe. In a lot of ways, it's the same way flamethrowers work. And so you ask, why is there a flame on Charmander's tail? Well, that's where the 2 chemicals are being stored, in their butts, just like the Bombardier Beetle. And the flame has been selected by evolution, with bigger flames scaring off your enemies by showing that you have more powerful fire abilities. And if all else fails, you can use the flaming tail to attack. It gives you a fuel source.
That's Anchorman. I like that movie.
Other fire type moves, and also has a
cute hot dog.
advantage attached to it. So I don't know, it may not be perfect, but I think it's a pretty darn good explanation for the chemistry behind all of this. So now that we understand the mechanics of fire and how flamethrowers I want to look at one other move from the Pokemon series. Fire Spin. You use the move, and if it connects, you lock your opponent down for 2 to 5 turns while this thing burns them alive. Because nothing says game for kids quite like torching your enemies to ash like they're supporting characters on Game of Thrones. Ash Ketchum, burning people to ash. Coincidence? I think so. Unfortunately, the animations in the games aren't entirely clear about how this move works, and its portrayal in the manga and TV show are super inconsistent. But given that the game shows fire moving from left to right, the fact that most of the depictions show fire encircling its victims, and that spin is in the name of the move, I think we can assume that what we're dealing with here is something truly terrifying: fire tornadoes. Or, I guess more appropriately, fire whirls. Because that's the real name of the real natural phenomenon that these Pokemon are creating. But
Those
no
are actually a
one
thing.
calls
Oh,
it that
wow.
Because of clickbait.
You do not want to get caught in those. Oh,
Anyway, like I
gee.
said, fire tornadoes or fire whirls
They can
are
actually be
real
made?
things that are really deadly. Strangely enough, they're not very well documented, which, you know, is kind of surprising given that they're super cool, or more accurately, enormously hot, getting up to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 1090 Celsius in temperature, which is more than hot enough to melt most metals. What we do know is that they actually share less in common with tornadoes than they do with dust devils out in the desert. Well, a tornado is created by hot air getting wedged under a cold front so that the lighter hot air tries to push through the cold air above. Fire whirls are created by the fierce wind conditions that are caused by massive wildfires. You see, wildfires heat up the air in an area so much that they create turbulent gusts of wind, which can combine with the hot air moving upward, creating spinning pillars of fire. And
That was
what
weird
makes
timing.
fire whirls
I decided to look
unique.
up and then-
It means that they're spinning in,
You hear that lightning?
in more oxygen than a
Is there a fire tornado coming? Oh no.
As we know,
That's
oxygen
it's
is one of
kind
the
of cloudy outside
main
today.
drivers. The gusts
I'm freaking out now.
these create also mean in the wild that they move, which means that
Oh, that's not funny. She got slapped with a stop sign.
and burning up more fuel as it goes, but never quite running out. Now, how does all this relate to the game? Interestingly, if you compare Fire Spin to the other most common Gen 1 moves, it's actually one of the weakest moves in the
That's
movie.
right, yeah, only
Sometimes even
30, I
beaten
think,
out
30.
by Ember, the weakest
Maybe I'm
fire
wrong.
move you can have that they give you at the beginning of the game. But if it lands, it can last for up to 5 turns. And this coincides with the science. Fire Spin is an attack focused on duration, trapping your opponent for multiple turns. And as we just learned, fire whirls in real life are able to sustain themselves by sucking in more oxygen and fuel than your typical fire. Also, it makes sense that it's going to be weaker. Other moves like Flamethrower and even Ember are launching fire directly at the opponent. Fire Spin, though, is all about using that heat in the area around the opponent to create the temperatures necessary to prompt eddies of wind to spark that swirling fire tornado. Heat is being lost in the attempt to create these things in the first place, and that points to the last factoid about this move, its inconsistency. These things IRL are rare, popping up only occasionally. The conditions have to be...
Yeah, I've seen something like this back in like 2011, 2012 or something.
The game, it has one of the lowest accuracy percentages
That's
of
right.
any fire move. And even then, the number of turns it actually lands for varies greatly. But hey, while they might not pop up all that often in real life, they're actually surprisingly easy to create in your own backyard. Like I did with the King of Random specifically for this episode. You know, sometimes you get tired of game theories being just theories. Sometimes you gotta make a game theory a game reality. And today I did just that.
And you
But
crowned
hey,
yourself the
that's
king of fire
just an
tornadoes.
Experiment. An experiment that almost burned down my backyard. Thanks for watching. And if you think Grant and I are done, we ain't done by a long
That's
shot.
from the other guys. That's from that one movie.
Mario could throw fireballs underwater. So we stuffed a bunch of tennis balls full of thermite and lit them off at a public beach. As you do. So click that button you see on screen right now to see those shenanigans.
Huh.
Also make sure that you do me the favor of subscribing to the King of Random to thank him for coming on the show, and also us, because there's that debate on the best Pokemon starter coming up in a week or two. And lastly, here's
It's gonna be Squirtle.
of me sucking down
Hands down, it's gonna be Squirtle.
really deep.
I mean, Squirtle can withstand the fire blast. It has good defense when it's final evolution.
Looks like my favorite franchise might be coming to an end, which means it is time to theorize. See you next week.
That is such good timing. Squirtle Squad! Hashtag Squirtle Squad. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna turn this off before I lose power. Thank you for watching. Tune me in. Go Squirtle Squad. That's what I pick. I do more than reactions. Please, I'm gonna do episode 5 of Pokemon Mega Evolutions, Mega Adventures. Please tune into that. I want to do more than just reacting to random videos. I want to make my own original content as well. So look forward to that. Tune in me next time, you too. Peace out.